provided their questions, and Tim will start the timer when you start to answer the questions. So Tim, speaking of judges, who are the judges tonight?
Yeah, we have three amazing judges. First, we have Kiera. Kiera is a seasoned entrepreneur specializing in enhancing profitability and growth for retail clients through strategic vendor relationships and negotiation tactics. She's the manager of innovation and strategic partnerships at 757 Collab and the owner and CEO of Literature and Libations. And next up, we have Himalaya. Himalaya is a standout entrepreneur through her work by diversifying investment portfolios and co-founding the BFM Fund. She has launched and managed funds like the Angel Oregon Fund and Mid-Valley Angel Fund. And finally, we have Chris. Chris is the founder of Orca Strategies. He is it's a consulting firm focused and on designing and implementing growth initiatives for companies, nonprofits, and communities. Chris previously held management and executive roles in the sectors of finance, technology, and commercial real estate. For over a decade, Chris has been involved in Hampton Roads' business startup ecosystem. He was an MC at Star Peninsula for 6 years, and he also works with local high school entrepreneurship classes as a mentor and a judge. Thank you, judges, for your time. We know your time is really, really valuable. We can't thank you enough for what you're doing. Pitchers, this is how the program is going to work this evening. We're going to have the first five pitchers do their thing. Then we're going to take a short break. Once we return, the final five pitchers will then pitch. Then the judges are going to go off into their deliberation room. And then during that time, we'll open things up for an internal Q&A. You can ask questions. We can twiddle our thumbs, tap dance, do whatever we do until the judges come back with their decision. But once they have decided, then they'll return here. We'll announce which businesses are going to advance to the championship pitch event in November. As a reminder to you pitchers, we know you're nervous, so just consider this a friendly reminder. When it's your turn to pitch, unmute yourself, share your screen if you have slides. Once your pitch is done, stop sharing your screen. The judges will ask their questions. After the last question is asked, then you'll address all three of those questions. You'll have 2 minutes to do that. When complete, mute your mic, and then we'll move on to the next one. It's fast-paced. It's fun. Let's get started.
Yep, Tim, just want to make sure that all the judges have access to the score sheet. So a thumbs up. Chris is good. Himalaya, did you get set up?
I don't believe I have access yet. However, I think Madison's working on it, and no problem. I will be taking notes, so it's no problem. We can start.
And if while we're doing that, if you have is your current email address that I have, is that Gmail associated?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I got an email saying it was associated with it, just not the actual sheet, but no problem. We can start, and I will be taking.
Is that the sheet that's further up in the chat, Tim, that you put out already?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll just go ahead and get started then, and we'll work it out. We will take a break about halfway through, and we'll be able to maybe figure it out then. So, ready for our first pitcher. Brittany, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, please welcome Brittany Boyd from Energy Equity Group.
Oh, can I?
Yep, and I will start when you start.
Okay. I thought someone was going to count me down. All right.
No, you're good.
Okay. While climate change will impact all of us, those who have contributed the least to it will be the ones that create the worst and possible effects from it. The Energy Equity Group wishes to facilitate an equitable and just clean energy transition, providing economic relief for low-income families, and environmental justice services for corporations. The two greatest threats to humanity at this time are climate change and poverty. Climate change is fueled by corporate growth and innovations like AI. And while corporations wish to do the right thing, there has been a severe supply constraint on new clean energy coming to the market in order for them to invest in. Historically, low-income families have been excluded from wealth-building transitions like clean energy, and that has created a deep-rooted yet validated distrust of systems that have been set up to perpetually keep them in a circular low-income status. The Energy Equity Group wishes to bring our products and services to the market to help alleviate these extremely serious issues. First, we have economic relief RECs, or renewable energy credits, and these are fossil fuel offsets that will provide the additionality of environmental justice through economic stimulus payments to low-income families. We will also offer impact investing advisory, where we will go into communities, meeting them where they are, whether that's at the public assistance office or a job fair. And we will source, validate, and create the impact that our corporate clients wishes to have on those families. Last but not least, we will offer business mediation services. With a combined 30 years of sales leadership and corporate operational excellence experience, we have the unique ability to be able to cut current sales cycles down from 18 months to 6 months. Utilizing our personal experience growing up in low-income circumstances, we can go into these communities and provide the support that our clients wishes to have on the clients that they serve. Coupling our professional experience and our personal experience, we have identified a perfect founder market fit. These are a few of the clients that we've already had discovery meetings with, and they all agree that this is something that is much needed, but there is a gross lack of representation to bring it to market in a way that's authentic and genuine. There's also legislative support for our initiative. The Inflation Reduction Act set aside $20 billion in grants to help more clean energy come to realization, in addition to the EPA announcing a $3 billion fund that will help environmental justice be served to low-income communities all over the nation.
And
So
that is
Okay, thank you. If you want to stop sharing your screen, great. And are you ready to take some notes from the judges, some questions?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we're going to start off our questions with Himalaya.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that pitch. Can you go a little bit more into the high levels of the specific products you're offering and how that would look from a customer-facing standpoint?
And then Chris.
Yeah, and I know you ran out of time. I had a similar question because I was trying to figure out what your revenue source is and what you're actually providing. I'm seeing that you're talking about these legislative actions where these funds are created. So are you helping to facilitate that flow of money from the government to your clients? Is that your major revenue source?
And then Kiara.
Yeah, so my questions are in align with the other two judges. Could you just articulate a little bit more about what I think it was ERCs or credits are, and then how you plan to generate revenue with that?
And you have 2 minutes whenever you start to answer those, and Tim will let you know when your 2 minutes are up.
Yep.
So
Okay.
renewable energy credits are clean energy offsets, which offset the fossil fuel emissions that corporations currently emit into our atmosphere. For our advisory services, Chris, you are correct. We will provide the service of going out and facilitating the funds in a way that will help corporations and clean energy suppliers not get called out for low-income washing, which is the privatization and exploitation of low-income programs without adequate economic relief for the corresponding communities. We will charge an hourly rate for that fee. For our renewable energy credits, that's our flagship product, we will be able to add a premium to the renewable energy credits that corporations already buy, and that premium will be administered into the community in a way that they can trust, because we are low-income community, we are from the low-income community, and we have the ability to go in and gain the trust of these communities that they wish to impact, that they are grossly disconnected from. So those are our two main revenue streams.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hey, thanks, Brittany. And the judges, I'll just wait for a thumbs up from each of you before I officially introduce the next pitcher. Just Matthew, are you ready to roll? Okay, so we'll wait for the thumbs up from the judges and then I'll introduce you. Okay, Kira, good. Chris? Malaya's good. Chris is good. Okay. Our next pitcher, please welcome Matthew Lynch from Christos Commission Covenant Conglomerate.
Hello, everybody. Very good to be here. As far as sharing the screen goes, there we go. And I suppose, thank you. Now, oh, forgive me. That is not what I wanted. That makes sense. So, may I start? Yeah, very good. So I'll start with the rhetorical. Where is the center of our home as far as the sun goes? Our corporation is centered on the 9 billion people who roam this earth, who are all longing for actualization of their callings, of their skill sets. We have 25 and counting companies of companies. We have a tangential and yet a efficacious design to our process where we equip an endeavor to move forward in order to move forward to another endeavor and in order to grow. So very excited to introduce a variety of things that we're working on just to kind of explain ourselves. We're presenting to the city of Norfolk tomorrow morning the Seed Stores endeavor, which we want to start with a in-house design arborists city function so that no one would get hurt crossing the street as we get this started. But it is a crowdsourced nursery, has a fantastic potential, as does Faithful Fast Food, competing with all 50 plus of the top fast food restaurants in every, whether it be a ghost kitchen, drive-through, or food truck, a menu of menus, organic and 24/7. We're here to present today Link Liberty. And this is an enfranchisement effort to get people to build websites or to collect the online presence in order of social media, Linktree, Own Social, so on and so forth. Happy to answer any questions. Equip people to go to where they go and to franchise this overhead whereby people aren't doing this on the side in a way that doesn't make sense, but rather one that really does make sense, whether they focus in on it or whether they do it on the side and or even invest in other people's practices via Equify fractional franchises. Didn't time myself as I meant to, so I'm not sure how much time I have. So I'm happy to see and the rest of my time and go into the questions. Link Liberty is just, I'm really excited. This really is congruent with my day-to-day life. I've been looking for something as I get Faithful started, but yet I don't have to start the capital as a first-time founder. As I get Seed Stores started, but yet I don't have the influence yet as a founder. Yet I am a founder my whole life. I've been ready for this moment. I'm looking to fund the business with $500 and pursue the 5,000 for the final. Thank you very much.
And that's time.
Okay, thank you. All right, I have something to grab some notes from the judges' questions. And so judges, we're going to start with, this time we're going to start with Chris.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Matthew, good to see you again. I have seen you pitch before, and I just love your passion. You really are motivated and motivating individual. So you ceded the rest of your time, so we didn't really get to hear much about the revenue and what you're planning to do with the investment and what your model really looks like. I understand your passion for helping the people that you're helping and your motivation for doing it, but can you get just a little bit more into the actual business model?
And next, Kira.
Yeah, I like to understand more clearly, like, what is the problem that this particular endeavor, this newest endeavor under the umbrella, I guess, company is going to be identifying?
And Himalaya.
I'd like to understand how maybe you've done some competitive research and how this might be different than other startups that are offering like back-end support or website development support for new startups or creatives.
So Matthew, you have 2 minutes to answer those questions. As soon as you start, Tim will start the climber for you.
I'm so sorry. So that was my co-founder with Co-Create-X, and on that final page, I had what is my business card. Focusing on these businesses makes a lot of sense for me. It makes a lot of sense for we. We went over that in the steward's pitch, and I am a bit tongue-tied here as I go through answering the questions. I'm so thankful. It's very synergistic, this endeavor, because, for instance, we'd like to team up with the digital builders. They do phenomenal work with educating people on how to code, and then from there, a platform can grow on how people can find jobs to code. We are looking to do the exact same thing with social networking, social SEOing, on and on. Very valuable, very low overhead, very easy sell. I had 17 leads yesterday, and it's been going phenomenally well, putting stickers up in windows. So it's been well received to join communities or to start their own communities via Co-Create-X's own social. It fits into our program or to our paradigm, because it is testing the own social and Co-Create-X bandwidth and capabilities, so that when we focus our efforts on sending people to Equify fractional franchises, they can then participate in their endeavors or actually select one that they want to go work on. I want to answer all these questions. So the model fits in so well with us administrating to the effect of the individual going out there and being a franchisee. The revenue is well spoken to by even being low dollar amount, say 15, 30, $50. It's still, you can get 17 clients in a day and then work and get that done. And we'll have models to that effect. We're still learning and growing, focusing on a lot of companies, but this is the one that was that calling, and I do have to honor that. And I am very focused on this. The investment would be well used to develop the Wix app, by way we would be able to franchise this. We certainly would be willing to look at the lower overhead for the app and have other needs as well, such as advertising, of course, such as project management and some internal tools we'd be so grateful for. So I really am looking forward to getting started with the Commission Covenant Conglomerate Corporation via this endeavor and via all of our endeavors that we're currently working on in peaceful fashion. Thank you for the questions, everybody.
That is time.
Okay, thank you. I will wait for thumbs up from the judges. And just a quick one, Marion, are you ready to go? And we got 2 judges.
I'm ready.
Okay. And we got 3 judges. Okay. We are ready for you. Please welcome our third pitcher, Marion Vanier from Growables.
All right. Hi, my name is Mar from Growables. We make houseplants simple and fun. So one of the worst things as a plant parent is coming home to a yellow and withering plant with like no idea why it's not doing well. Like, am I watering, overwatering, underwatering? I'm not really sure what's going on. And it often makes it seem like being a plant parent is only available to those with a mystical green thumb. And here at Growables, we believe that anyone can grow a plant. So we identified 3 big problems that people typically have. One is a lack of knowledge of what type of plant they have, how do they take care of it. Another is a lack of time. Time can be like watering their plant or just even looking up that information. And 3, just having the incorrect type of soil. So one thing to keep note of is when you buy a plant from a big box store, it's in soil that's designed for a greenhouse environment. It's not going to translate well to your house, and it's going to make your plant struggle from the get-go, no matter what you do. So to solve this, we have created something called the Growables Grow Kit. So it basically comes with everything that you need to grow your plant. So that's including soil specific to your type of plant, top dressing, we have fertilizer, root magic, which is beneficial bacteria, and all these things combined with our app that has step-by-step instructions are able to solve all 3 of these problems. We're much different from the competition due to the fact that we're focused on solving all three of these issues. Most other brands are very good at solving one type of problem, but nothing is all encompassing like we are. The market for houseplants is huge, over $4 billion, and it's growing with a compounded annual growth rate of almost 5%, with 66% of Americans already having houseplants. Our business model is straightforward. We are planning on selling our grow kits directly to our consumers via channels such as Etsy and our website. We also have attended local markets. And right now we're actually gearing up to purchase a large order of inventory so we can get onto Amazon. We're also in talks with local plant shops. And the dream is to get into a Lowe's or Home Depot. So we also have plans for other kits to expand our product line, and we also have different accessories too that can be purchased. So we already have 100+ organic sales. This is without any marketing budget, and this is through Etsy and our website. Just my team alone, we have over 1,000 followers. So it's pretty easy for us to go and find new customers pretty quickly. And we've already done $300 this month alone just from pop-up shops. So our team is full of people who are driven and have some form of business or learning experience, with Gabby being a teacher, Luke being an entrepreneur student, my brother Elias, he's also he's a Toyota engineer, and myself, where we've worked on other businesses.
That is time.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and unshare your screen.
Okay.
And be sure you have something to capture the judges' questions. And we're going to start off our questions this time with Kiara.
Yeah, so thank you for that presentation. My question is around the target audience. I think you touched on it, but could you give me a little bit more insight on how big the market is of people who are tired of walking in on their plants being yellow or almost dying?
Next, Himalaya.
Can you talk to us about how you are differentiating in an increasingly saturated market with different types of grow kits and different types of grow containers?
And finally, Chris.
For me, one of the best things I saw in that quick presentation was the Venn diagram and showing the overlap between the typical competitors. That was pretty good. So I guess my question is about your distribution channels. How are you seeing that happening?
So you'll have 2 minutes when you start answering. Tim will give you the end of that. And so the floor is yours.
All right, great questions. So the market is pretty big, just in general, due to local groups selling plants. And there's always a bunch of people who are coming into the market buying plants and buying different types of plants. So you may have people who want to give gifts to friends, or they may be gifted a plant. So they tend to go into our audience. Basically, we are targeting anyone who is unfamiliar with growing a type of plant. We're different from the competition because specifically we have different business models. If you look at current grow kits or plant shops, their whole business model is based off of volume. They don't care what happens to your plant right after you get it. So if it dies, it dies. That's just for you to come back. And we also have the benefit of having a tech-based system, such as our app. So we have a knowledge hub all in one place. That is something that is extremely difficult to replicate, especially with the knowledge we have built up over years of experience. In our distribution channels, we actually have experience selling on Amazon. We actually were the #1 paint pen seller on Amazon. So really, we're just replicating that business model on another market. Our customer acquisition cost has been extremely low too, just basically due to how useful it's been to our customers, because having something in a grab and go container is just so convenient that it is hard for people to get away from. Again, this is without any marketing budget. This is just us going up to different people and saying, hey, is this something that interests you? And 9 times out of 10, if we talk to them, they will buy it. All right. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait to get thumbs up from the judges. And Sandra, are you ready?
Yes, just had a little scare. My screen went out, so hopefully
Okay, so
doesn't
Kira's
happen.
good. Yep, so Kira, I got a thumbs up. Himalaya thumbs up. I got all thumbs up from all the judges. So we're ready for you, Sandra. Please welcome Sandra Jackson from Jackson Beauty Solutions.
Okay. Personal care needs can be put on the back burner, and self-esteem could be drastically affected within the special needs community and the elderly community. As a cosmetologist, a special needs teacher, and a nurse assistant, I've seen the unseen needs of both of these communities, and most people don't really pay it close attention until it gets really bad. Jackson Beauty Solutions offers cosmetology services with a special focus on aging community and individuals with special needs. Just a little quick story about when my grandfather was in his later years. He basically needed the same care that everyone would need at different age, but he needed haircuts, he needed shaves, but he didn't want to be a burden. So you've seen the self-esteem go down. You've seen he didn't want to go to certain places. You know, he needed that extra care. And as people age, their hair becomes more fragile and hair loss is more common. And with special needs, they're going to experience sensory issues while they're getting their hair care services. Let me slow down. Although our center will have specialty services, it's not just for those demographics. It'll be for anybody, regardless of delicate situations. We're going to have gentle care services as well as mobile gentle care services, so we'll be able to go to the individual. And currently, we are offering those services, but we're currently responding to RFPs. We're EVA registered, V3 certified. We are able to participate with the workforce program and the skill bridge program, in the process of being SWAM certified and B-Force accelerated program graduate. And the problem we're solving, we're making personal needs available and obtainable for those with special needs and elderly. We're providing sensory sensitive services and environments. We're training our staff in senior care and sensory safe salons. These funds any funds acquired will be used to incorporate state-of-the-art equipment and features to make the self-care experience unforgettable. Thank you.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. And do you have something to write down some questions from the judges?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start this time with Himalaya.
Okay, thanks so much. So Sandra, if you could talk to us about what your vision of success looks like. I'm having a hard time picturing, is it like a brick and mortar where you provide services in that one location? Is it, like across salons, but you have a, specific program or services that you're able to train other people on? So what does that look like?
Next, Chris.
First of all, Sandra, I just wanted to say that this is a worthy cause to take on, and the shortage in elder care services across many industries is a ticking time bomb, but that's a good opportunity to make a lot of money for entrepreneurs. So love the concept, but my question, similar to Himalaya, would be not just is it going to be brick and mortar or you go to them or whatever, but can you talk to the scalability of this idea and how you would plan to scale it, or if you plan to scale it?
And next, Kiara.
Yeah, my question is going to be more in regards to customer feedback. So it sounds like you've already started to execute on this vision, but have you gotten any feedback from your customers? And if so, just give us a few examples.
Okay, so Sandra, you'll have 2 minutes to answer those questions, and Tim will let you know when your time's up. It starts whenever you start answering.
Okay, so the vision is to basically be one of the main resources for these two communities, and to provide education and employment for others in the community. This will be a brick and mortar. It will also be mobile services, specific to making accommodations in whatever salons that are set up, with sensory safe programs. We're going to be partnering with social services and, the facilities that have, like the retirement communities, assisted living communities and things like that. As far as customer feedback, I am a salon currently, and I do incorporate those services, but I do not have the accommodations available yet. That's why I'm want to acquire some funding. So I do my own personal experiences. I do those services as well as I can, and I do get positive feedback on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And I'll wait for the thumbs up from the judges. I got one from Chris. And Sarah, are you ready to go at the judges? The judges are all ready for you. Is Sarah here? There you go. Please welcome Sarah Kaya Morton from Lock Green.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yep.
So imagine you're driving down the road and a police officer pulls you over. You're already nervous, but then you get even more nervous because you remember that you have your personal stash of weed in your car. I'm sure your anxiety will go through the roof. With well over 75% of this country having legal cannabis laws, it is legal to travel with cannabis in your car in those locations. But a lot of consumers are still nervous because, number one, many people don't know their state law specifics, which outline the type of container that you must carry cannabis in within your car, and also where that cannabis must be in your car. Most states require it to be in your trunk. Two, many state laws are unclear, which is common with new legislation. For example, in Virginia, just like many other states, the law that dictates specifically how you can legally travel with cannabis in your car is very confusing. And being confused while you're on the side of the highway at a traffic stop is not a good situation to be in. And three, despite widespread cannabis legalization, still more people are arrested for cannabis possession than for any other drug. And most of those happen at traffic stops, and many of those happen at traffic stops. My name is Sarah Kaya Morton, and my husband and I founded Lock Green because we saw firsthand how having a cannabis conviction can cause barriers to housing, jobs, student loans, child custody, and more. Lock Green's mission is to help prevent cannabis law violations, and we do that with our stash boxes that meet and exceed most states' requirements for cannabis storage and travel. These stash boxes are smell-proof, have a built-in combination lock to give cannabis consumers peace of mind as they safely store and travel with cannabis in their cars. Now, in addition to the many customization options that we have on our stash boxes, we also set ourselves apart in the market because we have an emphasis on educating the community. I personally educate the community by speaking at conferences across the country, by having community conversations, social media posts, and many other ways. So I like to categorize our target market as a cannabis consumer that has too much to lose and no time to deal with drama. We've been in business since 2021. Now, almost 2,000 customers later, our clients are typically between 30 and 50 years old, professionals, goal-oriented, and many of them are parents or pet owners because they like the fact that our stash boxes lock to keep kids, pets, and other unwanted guests out. to, to learn more about our customers, we're currently hosting in-person focus groups, and we'll be launching a customer survey next week. We look forward to continuing to protect cannabis consumers with our stash boxes. Thank you so much for your time.
And that's time. Nice job.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and unshare your screen, stop sharing, and you have something to capture some questions from the judges.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to start this time with Chris.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
So we have seen you pitch before, and it sounds like you are revenue positive, which is great. Congratulations on your 2,000 customers. So I know that 2,000 customers is not your goal. It's probably more like 2 million customers. So at this point, what's holding you back? What are you lacking right now?
Next, Kiara.
I'll go next. So my question is more or less, who are your competitors in this market? And then how do you plan to have a competitive edge within that space?
And then Himalaya.
And I will piggyback off of that question and ask you more about your IP portfolio, or any plans for that, and any feature sets that are specific to your customers, and you can answer that in Kira's question as well.
Okay, Sarah, you have 2 minutes. When you start answering, Tim will set the timer, and then he'll let you know when your 2 minutes are up.
Okay, I'm going to answer backwards. So as far as IP portfolio, we currently have our trademark application pending. So we are working with that. We are in the process of ordering new inventory, and we'll be working with an attorney to work on patents and any other IP that we have to make sure that we are in line with that. Who are my competitors and competitive edge? There are many other stash box companies on the market that offer varying options. We are one of the higher quality stash boxes, and we set ourselves apart due to what I mentioned about customization. We have a lot of customization options. We also offer the options for companies to put their logos on the stash boxes, which not many do at all. Maybe one that I came across, maybe two at the most. And also we are mission driven. So that piece that we're building in community and building in education and really talking about how they can protect themselves with the stash box really sets us apart. Nobody else does that. And then lastly, what are we lacking? Capital. As a cannabis-based business, even though we don't touch the plant, we're just a stash box. We do not have access to banking like everybody else, all the other businesses, because they kind of put us in this weird status. So I'm having a hard time finding capital, but I'm going to do it, and I'm on the right path, and I'm close. But capital is definitely what's holding us back. And if we were to get this grant, we would use it on marketing and advertising, because that's exactly what we need, more eyes on our brand.
And that's time.
Okay, thank you. So we get thumbs up from the judges, and then we'll take a 5-minute break once I hear from, see that all the judges are ready for us to do that. Kira, Chris, Himalaya, all good. Okay, so we'll take a 5-minute break. Let's say it's 6 minutes, and we'll see you back here at 6:50. And we're back. Just checking that we have everybody back with us. Andrew, you're going to be our first speaker after the break here. So are you ready to go? Okay, I'm just waiting on 2 judges, and then we're ready to roll with you. I have Himalaya, I have Kiara.
Is my voice okay?
Yep, but don't start yet.
Yep.
See if I'm just waiting on Chris. Chris is back. So, okay, everybody, please welcome our 6th pitcher tonight, Andrew Choi from Beige LLC.
Okay. So we're making Vix your personal AI fitness trainer. And so one of the biggest issues is that fitness beginners are unfamiliar with proper form. With so much information online, they don't know where to start. And so if they got a personal trainer or purchase a smart gym, they're going to be expensive commitments. And so our solution is to utilize what people already have, smartphones. And so when a user downloads our app, they're being provided with real-time form feedback. Real-time form feedback and personal workout plan. And what form feedback is basically is that the app notifies the user if they're performing the workouts incorrectly. And so this is a faster and cheaper alternative when we plan to motivate users through gamification and personal statistics. And so this is our current product. Currently, we're using a freemium model. And so users can log into our app and choose whichever workout plan they wish. And when they begin the workout, our app will track their form and count their reps for them. And towards the end, users can see their statistics. And so when we first made the prototype, we went out to the beach and asked a bunch of people. They all loved the idea, and they all agreed that form feedback was one of the major pain points that they've been experiencing. And so within the fitness app market around the world, it's about 6.86 billion. And that number is projected to increase over the next 5 years. But for us, we're currently focused on millennials or Gen Z employees within the US who have tried out these different fitness apps. And that combined with our current pricing structure, that comes out to about 2.6 billion. And so these are our competitors within the B2C market. For us, we're trying to incentivize, trying to increase our active user count so that we can approach health and fitness companies. And so not only are we affordable and portable, but we've developed an advanced algorithm that allows the user to receive real-time form feedback faster and more accurately. We've also developed a unique method for extracting post samples. And so what this basically means is that our AI trainer knows exactly what a proper form looks like. And finally, users have the ability to customize their own workout plans and to seamlessly transition into post tracking. And so the way that we plan to market is to do guerrilla marketing. So going out there to events and handing the phone to other people while doing paid advertisements on the side. If we do hold competitions, the top contender will receive a health and fitness related prize. And then we do plan on reaching out to our connections who can introduce us to publications. And so I'm very fortunate enough to work with an awesome team who's very talented that covers pretty much all the areas needed to grow a business. We met each other in Virginia Tech and we started our own startup before pivoting to this idea. And
That is time.
Great.
Okay, thank you. You can go ahead and unshare your screen and have something to catch the questions from the judges.
Great.
And we're going to start this time with Kiara.
Great presentation. So I want to know a little bit more about what you guys plan to use the pitch funds for, or what is your biggest need and what will you use your capital for?
Next, Himalaya.
On that note, I'd really like to understand the customer segment. You talked about the TAM, but who is your particular segment and what does conversion look like for your customers?
And then Chris.
Okay, so with this being an already pretty crowded space, it sounds like your main differentiator is going to be your algorithm. So within your comfort level, can you tell us a little bit about what makes your algorithm different? And also, my second question would be, what kind of data collection are you doing, and what are you doing with that data?
And you'll have 2 minutes from when you start answering, and Tim will let you know when you've run out of your time.
Sweet. So great questions. So in terms of what we would use the capital for, it's mainly just for marketing. And so paid social media advertisements, as well as holding local competitions using our app. And for our particular segments, we're focusing on millennials and Gen Z employees within the United States. As far as conversions from the people that we've talked to, they've were willing to download the app. Unfortunately, during that time, we only had an Android app. And so that's why we developed an iOS version. And we've just begun focusing on the marketing side. As far as our differentiating factor, at least within the app market, there isn't really an app that uses post tracking and form feedback. And current terms of our algorithm, it's much faster. We can process a lot of data very quickly in real time. And as far as the data collection question, the only data that we really collect so far is just emails and passwords that users opt in. We don't see what goes on behind the camera. All we know is like, so someone did 20 push-ups and they are anonymous users. So yep, happy to answer more questions if there's any follow-up.
And that's time.
Great.
Thank you very much. Wait for the thumbs up from the judges. And Beverly, are you ready to roll? Don't start yet. I'll introduce you. Just let me get a thumbs up from the judges. 1, 2. I'm just waiting on 1. And Chris is good. So we're good to go. Please welcome our next pitcher this evening, Beverly Zimmerman from Jonathan Cares. You're on mute, Beverly.
I can unmute.
There you go. You're unmuted.
Okay. Have you ever been hungry? It's concerning to know that every day many Hampton Roads residents experience hunger. According to data from 2018 from the USDA, over 180,000 individuals in Hampton Roads, representing more than 10% of households, face food insecurity. Despite its prevalence, this issue often remains unseen. But at the nonprofit Jonathan Cares, we refuse to turn a blind eye. The mission of Jonathan Cares actually involves 2 key objectives. The first one is to combat food insecurity and to reduce the food and non-food waste footprint, which is a significant contributor to landfill waste and environmental degradation. We also strive to serve a fundamental human right by delivering wholesome, nutritious food to people who face food insecurity, while at the same time, we help corporations with their sustainability goals. Through our strategic partnerships, we rescue surplus food and we create customized food boxes to meet the individual needs of food insecure families. Whether it's dairy-free, gluten-free, or allergy restrictions, we want to make sure that people have quality food that they can actually eat. And any of our leftover food is distributed through on-site distributions. However, our current infrastructure is struggling to keep up with the growing demand of food and non-food recovery. To give you insight about our impact, Wegmans is one of our food source partners. In 2023 alone, we distributed 195,857 pounds of food to hungry families with their help. We also distributed more than $52,000 worth of Panera bread and more from Wawa, Fresh Market, and others. And yet the harsh reality remains that we are still not reaching enough people. So here's what we need, and here's why we need your help. We need committed financial donors to help us achieve our goals for this year. The first goal is to obtain a warehouse space ASAP that will serve as our operational hub due to the vast amount of non-food recovery. Number 2, as of now, we're mostly self-funded, and in order to meet the needs of our burgeoning budget, we need your financial support. 100% of all donated funds will go directly to supporting our targeted community, and our dedicated team members have been working tirelessly, unpaid, because we believe in the importance of our cause. Our third goal was to get a 26-foot box truck to replace the van that we lost in an accident. but that goal was just met over this past weekend. So realistically, our work goes beyond providing just the meals. We also restore dignity and hope to those that we serve by serving with integrity and compassion. So we ask you, will you step up and help us? And remember, your good deeds that you do, you will also receive um, a tax write-off at the end of the year for your taxes. Thank you very much. My name is Beverly Zimmerman. I'm with Jonathan Cares.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. And you have something to write down some questions from the judges?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start with Himalaya.
Thanks, Beverly. I had a question around what your plans are for the nonprofit. Is it to a specific region? Are you trying to expand services in that region? Or is this something where you want to do this in multiple different regions? There's no right or wrong answer to that question.
And Chris?
Okay, so yeah, I guess another great cause to take up. One of my questions is, even though you are a 501c3, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't, create more revenue and expand. I think this is something that really needs to be everywhere. So, what is your idea for scalability with this, and what would you actually be seeking from your donors? Like, what is the biggest thing that you need?
And Kiera?
I'd like to understand more about the process. I think you had spoke briefly that Wegmans is one of your partners, but what does that look like? How are they your partner? Do you get things that are close to expiration? Like, what does that partnership look like?
And you'll have 2 minutes to answer these. When you start answering, Chris will put 2 minutes on the clock. Tim will put 2 minutes on the clock and let you know when your time's up.
Okay. So our plans for the nonprofit is that we would like to be in multiple regions. That's something that we would love to do, but we know that we have to get it right in this region first. And so this is why we need the funding to be able to do the things that we need to do. And in order for us to scale and have some type of product, which we don't have a product that we can sell and scale, we are looking to figure that out, to figure out, can we come up with a product that we can scale like that? When we go to our donors like Wegmans and the food that Wegmans gives us, probably about 3% of that food actually ends up in the trash can. And that's mostly with maybe a bad orange in a bag, a bad apple in a bag, something like that. But for the most part, that has been very good food that we're able to give to the people in the community. And it includes meats and vegetables and fruit and salads and pre-cooked food. It includes all of that. But what we need from our donors is um, the financial help so that we can get a warehouse and be able to have a place when we get our donations from other groups that are non-food. We have to check all those things. So when I get a TV or a microwave, I need to check these things and make sure that they are in good order so that I can give them out to the community. I hope that answers you all's questions. I'm trying to stay within the limit, but as I said, we do want to be in multiple regions. I have done distributions in South Carolina, in different areas in South Carolina, for college campus and also for a couple of cities. So we do want to take this model that we have, and if we can scale it somehow, have it in different places to help more people, because many people don't realize the amount of food and non-food that goes to the trash can every day. And so if I don't pick up the things that we pick up, it's just going to go to the garbage can, and it can be new, used, or not used.
And that is time.
Okay, thanks. Wait for a thumbs up from the judges. Hestina, are you ready to go when the judges are ready? 1, 2, and 3 judges are ready to go. So ready for you, Hestina, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, please welcome Hestina Newberry.
Let me share my screen.
Yep.
Where is my presentation? And should be clicked. Right. Eating out breakfast, lunch, and dinner can have adverse effects on not only your bank account, but also your health. It's a reality for a lot of people, and those same people are willing to pay the convenience charge to avoid cooking. Cooking is seen as a chore, which includes planning what to eat, prepping it, cleaning up afterwards. For those who don't know how to cook, their cooking adventures may look like the pictures above. Horrific. Even though meal planning is cheaper, it is time consuming. For me, I spend way too much time looking for healthy recipes. When healthy goals are introduced, many don't know where to start. Enter Anjay. Anjay is an online platform that sells meal plans to lost souls in the kitchen who have uttered the phrases, "I need to lose weight," or "I need to gain muscle for a competition." By providing meal plans, it cuts down on the time it would take for recipe research and scheduling on what to eat and when to eat. So here's an example of the platform. So every new customer will go through our questionnaire so that we can gather what the goals are, their proposed caloric intake, and their meal preferences. There are currently 6 questions. So this is the consumer view once they are logged in. So this is how the consumer will move through the website. And so they'll be able to access the meal plan as well as the shopping list and recipes. So as you can see, the competition is very crowded. So what makes us different is that we will focus. So what makes us different is that we will focus on pre-planned meals created by nutritionists. We consider the variety of the result and the aesthetics/goals, and fully customize the meal plan with a nutritionist. Healthy plans in different cultural perspectives. Currently, I am a one-woman show, and I'm looking for a co-founder. And why me? Well, I'm not just an average programmer. So prior to IT, I worked in the family studies and community development capacity, ranging from senior communities to home health agencies. I have a few credit hours at Towson University, and because of my array of experiences, I can grow my company into more than just a marketplace. Besides, I want to use my company services to better myself. And the proposed.
Okay, thanks. If you'd unshare your screen.
Yeah.
And are you ready for some questions from the judges?
A second.
Okay, all set?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna start with Chris this time.
Okay, thanks for the presentation. So I want to maybe ask you to confirm with me. So is your differentiating factor, in your opinion, that you're basing the recipes on what the consumer's goals are, whether it be, losing weight, gaining weight, like you said at the beginning? Is that like your main differentiating factor? Are there any IP factors that make you different in the way that you execute that plan? And other than that, I would just say maybe it's not so much a question, but just maybe a comment that if you're incorporating as part of your problem the fact that cooking is inconvenient, then just be aware that you're really still cooking, so it really helps you with the recipe, obviously, finding your recipes, but my suggestion would be don't focus so much on the cooking itself as part of the problem, the inconvenience of it, because you're still actually cooking. Am I correct or no? So
Yeah,
just those
you
two
are correct.
things. Okay.
Okay, we'll go to Kiara.
So I think if I understood correctly, part of your market are people who want to be healthier or want to lose weight but don't know how. So do you have any nutritional background or are a nutritionist? Because I know you said you were a programmer that kind of has data that supports whatever you're recommending is actually nutritious, and have proven key metrics that show it help people get to those goals.
Okay, and Himalaya.
You mentioned a couple different market segments between people who are trying to lose weight versus people who are, trying to gain weight for a competition. So can you talk to us about maybe what the different like marketing and customer conversion strategies look like?
Okay, so you have 2 minutes to answer those questions, and Tim will start when you start answering. He'll start the timer, and then he'll let you know when your time is up.
Okay. So I'll probably go backwards. As far as the marketing for different segments, this will probably go, I would imagine it would go just marketing to everyone. And I know that was probably not the best answer to give, because I do remember the prep. I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Basically, marketing or to.
It's okay. You're doing great. Come on. It's all right.
So as far as marketing is concerned, that's something I have to get back to you on. And as far as meal planning, is there any data that suggests whether it is a viable option? I could just tell from my personal experience, having a meal plan did help me stay on track. And I did lose a lot of weight. And I think that would be honestly my best way to really to verify. But I know I probably will have to do more research in regards to doing that. As far as how my meal plan, my platform differentiates, it is based on the different factors of having it being personalized to the individual's goals.
And that is time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. We'll wait for the thumbs up for the judges. In the meantime, Diamond, are you ready to go when the judges are ready? Okay, I got thumbs up from Kira, Chris. Emily, are you set? Okay. All right. Please welcome our next pitcher. Please welcome Diamond Gorman from Ready Kids Learning and Development Center.
Here we go. Sorry. Changing, welcome in diversity. So the problem is construction employees and families need on-call, reliable childcare during irregular work hours. Our solution is an online marketplace connecting the construction workplace with qualified caregivers in their area. The purpose of this is to empower daycare small business owners to generate income through construction project bids and leverage the state DBE programs to support their families and employees, generating revenue for both daycare and construction industries. The marketplace journey, it would be DBE compliant construction firms will customize their caregiver solicitations. Caregivers will manage bookings and are awarded, and firms offer childcare benefits. Construction proceeds uninterrupted with reliable childcare in place. The market opportunity is 1.8 trillion market for construction and 59.87 billion for childcare. You can imagine how much money can be made with this type of software. Business model is revenue from service fees, subscriptions, and additional features. Marketing strategy will be digital marketing, partnerships, and community outreach to reach our audience. And then our growth plan would be product development, strategic DOT and DOL partnerships, focusing really on the highway administration and also the small businesses and daycares in the particular areas that we're marketing towards. Funding needs, we're seeking $150,000 to create the software for scaling operations. And this is just a breakdown of what we would need it for. We are in the ideation stage, so we're still in that $10,000 market research and strategy. But the software itself will be anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to integrate this type of software and to stream it live. And testing and Q&A would go. That's before we even reach the marketing platform stage. This is our team. Myself, I'm the owner of Ready Kids Hub, which is a construction hub geared for women in construction. And then Tajir Lewis is my software designer who would be creating the actual software that will we be launching after we get out of the marketing research stage. And thank you. You can visit our website at www.ready-demployment.com if you had any further questions on our journey.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There you go. Just unshare your screen. And you have something to capture questions from the judges?
Yep.
Okay, we start with Kiara.
Hi, Diamond. Great presentation. In your target market, you had talked about there were some pretty big numbers, trillion, and then I believe billion. Does that account for consumers that actually have children that have a childcare need, or was that just all construction workers in and of itself?
And next we'll go to Himalaya.
Can you talk to us about what the verification looks like on a platform like this to be able to screen content and to be able to, like understand the different audiences that it's for?
Okay, a couple of quick comments. First of all, this is a huge need. Childcare is one of the big reasons why the economy is still trying to rebound. Workforce is trying to rebound, and so glad to see this being taken on. Also glad to see promotion of women in construction. So all that said, I know that one of the big barriers to entry and one of the huge, I guess, obstacles in this industry is regulatory. So I'd love to hear more about the regulatory environment and what you've researched about that.
Okay, so Tim will put 2 minutes on the clock for you when you start to answer, and he'll let you know when your time is up.
I'm gonna start with one. So the target, those numbers are overall just the childcare industry and then also the construction industry. Our market target audience numbers would be more so catered to what's called bidexpress.com and care.com, which is a $1.2 trillion industry for those software platforms that are taking construction bidding projects and combining them into one. And then care.com, which is just daycare service providers that are looking for childcare in the area. Parents are searching that. So we would be combining those. So that's where that number would come from. Verification structure. So it would work. Our research is based off of those two platforms. So the screening of those platforms would be the daycare owner that already has their, and I can answer 2 and 3 with that. The daycare owner would already have their own profile, either verified for the Department of Labor, Department of Child Care Services, and also for the construction companies through the Department of DBE, Small Businesses, Federal Highway Administration. So this platform is just a software where they are combining the two. With the regulatory environment of that, we would not be involved in any of that. They would be signing into the platform. They would just go through a verification, basically just submitting their certifications. Once they are already certified through the state's portals, that's when they would be able to access our research. But we will also, our plan with this marketplace is that you can just go into explore as well with different models. If you're not ready, maybe you are looking sort of like a procurement website or a DBE small business website where their procurement, where you can go in and see what is going on without creating a profile. But of course, if you were to create a profile, you would have to already meet those verifications, and then that would be verified. You would get your your verification profile to be able to bid these particular projects that are matching both care.com and also the DBE programs, Federal Highway Administration programs.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait for a thumbs up from the judges. And Elia, are you ready to roll when the judges are ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just hang on. I have Kira is good. And Chris is still thinking. Himalaya's good. Okay, and Chris is good. Okay, Elia. All right, for our final pitcher for the evening, please welcome Elia Solray from WadBump.
Did you know there are over 13,000 CrossFit gyms with an estimated 2.4 million active athletes? In fact, CrossFit has experienced this rapid growth due to one key factor: a community-driven environment. Community is the key of all CrossFit. The athletes thrive off of the group classes, gyms drive engagement through that community, and it results in a lower level of client turnover. But I want you to meet Anthony. Anthony is a CrossFitter, but he faces a unique situation. He trains alone and doesn't have that direct access to a CrossFit gym. As part of this situation, he has to find his programming online from multiple sources. He doesn't have anyone to train with and struggles with the consistency of showing up to train. But this is not only him. Thousands of athletes face the same struggle. In fact, one study by NBC found that 95% of athletes who are in a social fitness community are less likely to quit their training plan. That's why I developed WadBump. WadBump is a social functional fitness software where it allows athletes to create, log, and share their workouts with a social fitness community. In the WadBump model, you can create any type of workout, track it with timers and analytics, and then share it either into the platform or onto social media. The app is currently available on iOS and Android for anyone to use. My name is Elias Solray. I'm a competitive CrossFit athlete of 7 years, a CrossFit coach, and the founder of WadBump. Right now, WadBump is a sole mission by me, but I do have several tech and fitness entrepreneurs who are backing this project and supporting me through this journey. As of our MVP launch in October of 2023, we have gained over 620 active athletes from over 20 different countries. And right now, our current model is based on a subscription-based model where we offer a yearly and a monthly-based subscription. As we continue to grow, we are introducing a back-end software which allows gyms and the coaches of those gyms to engage through the back-end with the athletes on their app. As part of this, we're hoping to drive a higher level of engagement with the gyms and their athletes and generate a lower level of churn in the gyms. To run this pilot program, we're going to be testing it in the 757 region. Within a 100-mile radius of Newport News, there are exactly 40 CrossFit gyms with an estimated 5,000 active members. And due to the loyalty of nature of CrossFit athletes and the global nature of CrossFit as a sport and a fitness brand, we expect it to grow rapidly beyond Virginia and the 757 region to a global audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Elia. You can go ahead and unshare. There you go. You have something to capture questions from the judges?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're going to start this time with Himalaya.
Okay, thanks so much for the pitch. Can you talk to us about what this looks like from a customer facing, like walk us through what that looks like from the moment that they interact with your site?
And next, Chris.
Okay, so subscriber-based income is fantastic. One of my businesses is realty-based, and I will tell you that subscriptions is a war of attrition. So what are, with your over 600 participants so far, what are your attrition rates in terms of, oh, and how do you measure those attrition rates? Is it engagement goes down, or is it they stop their subscription or access? And then what's your plan to stay ahead of the attrition?
And Kiara.
Yeah, so, and you may have spoken on this, but I just want to clarify, who are your exact competitors? And then more on a personal informative question, Is there data that shows whether or not a CrossFit athlete will or will not participate in other forms of, I guess, athleticism? So would they go and get a Peloton if they can't find a CrossFit gym?
Yeah,
So you
great
have 2
question.
minutes to answer these. Tim will put 2 minutes on the clock when you start, and then he'll let you know when your time's up.
All right, I'll go in reverse order. I'll start with you, Kiara. For competition right now, there's about 3 other fitness apps for tracking workouts in the CrossFit space. These apps don't focus on a social feature, which is the main priority for our app, and they primarily focus on the athletes in the CrossFit gym, where we're focusing on athletes who don't have access to the gym. And in relation to them performing other sports, CrossFitters are very, very loyal to the sport of CrossFit and the functional fitness area. So you won't really see them performing other fitness activities outside that unless it's something that would relate to CrossFit, for example, rowing, running, or something like that, which is also still a solo sport. Customer experience, Himalaya. So the way it works is when you create an account in our app, you are asked to choose your gym. When you choose your gym, rather than going on an Instagram or Facebook-based model where it's followers or friends, it's communities. So you don't get the direct access to choose who you're selectively with, but you're put in a community of the athletes of your gym. And then for athletes who aren't part of a gym, they're put in a generalized community where they can engage with each other. That's still in the MVP version. So right now we're based off of links. So whenever you create a workout, you generate a workout link that can be shared with any athlete and they can click it, opens in the app, and they can track that workout right there. We're introducing leaderboards, a social feed that's going to be similar to Instagram stories where you can save workouts, respond, interact with the athletes on a more personal level. And then for you, Chris, on engagement, right now, since it's been so new, we're just starting to track engagement. We're running several A/B tests on the marketing. One thing that's actually very unique is we're generating workout cards, which is a physical product I have right here. I don't know if it's going to show up. It's a deck of 52 workout cards, and we're using this to drive users into the app. So we're marketing those on Instagram and Facebook, and users will download or buy the cards, and on the back of each card is a QR code which they scan, which will open that workout in the app using the link technology I already talked about. So generating a lot of new users and the most engaged users through the workout cards. We're also noticing a lot of engaged users in just tracking data as it's coming in because it's all very, very new.
And that's time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, judges, I'm going to let you make your comments in your spreadsheet, and then we're going to send you off with Madison and Dan.
See,
and everybody
judges,
else here will make
you
fun
should
of
have judges, you should have the link in your chat. So you will leave here, go to that link, and then you'll come back using the original link that you used to join this webinar. And then once the judges are gone, then we can start to talk about them, but Chris is still here.
Yeah, you have to wait until they're all gone before we can say.
They all gone?
Yep.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
Well, great. Nice job, everybody. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. This is a great, this is such a good experience for you all. It's your first step. And I don't want you to be discouraged because it is your first step. This whole idea is you're meant to be early. It's meant to be new. So there is not an expectation with the judges or with anyone that is watching that you need to have X number of customers or be generating X amount of revenue. So this is a learning experience for you all. You should not be ashamed of yourselves for anything. And this is just at the end of the night, it's a great experience. And it's 3 opinions from judges that want to see you succeed and that connect with them afterwards and leverage their expertise, leverage their network, because I do want you to succeed.
I just wanted to say too that I started my business 26 years ago, and there was nothing like this. There was no way to go and pitch your idea. There was no way to get feedback. It was like the wild, wild west. And you just quit your job and hoped it would, that your new idea would work. And maybe I was one of the fortunate ones, but wow, looking back, and I think, wow, if I'd had this opportunity, while it would be spooky to throw my idea out there, but then to get the feedback, might seem scary at first, but then what a great way to test your idea and see if it's going to work before you quit your job. And and then go out there and into the wild, wild west. So yeah, even though it seems a little intimidating at first, it's I think it's a great opportunity. So I'm glad that the 10 of you decided to just throw your hat in the ring and give it a shot and see how it goes. So as Tim says, it's the beginning, and some folks are pitched before that are on here, and they learn every time how to do it even better. So
Yeah, and this marks the end of like the first half of the season, so to speak. So we have 4 micro pitches. This is number 2. We don't compete. We've tried to do micro pitches in the summer. It does not work very well. Everybody has their summer vacations and kids are out of school, and so it does not work well. What we do on June 7th, for those that are watching the replay or those that are watching in the audience, we will have a information session that talks about what Start Peninsula is. We'll go over the calendar of events for the second half of the year. So that will be on June 7th. All of our events are listed on our website, startpeninsula.com, so you can register for that. One of the most popular events that we have is something that we started a few years ago called Meet the Resources. And like I said, it's been really, really popular. So much so that other organizations, they've asked me if they could steal the idea, and it's like, that's fine. The whole idea is, rather than pitchers pitching to judges, it is turn the tables and put the service providers on the hot seat, and then they have to pitch you, the pitchers, on what it is that they offer and how they can help you. So that Meet the Resources session is on July 21st. And we have at least 12 resources that will come and talk about what they do. That could be anything from IP, patent, and trademark, it could to investors, bankers. We put the call out, and we will, just like these competitions, we will sell out of resources slots. You'll hear from economic development, since they're the ones that support Start Peninsula, but it's just a way for you in a rapid succession to learn about the different resources. And it truly is amazing to hear how many resources are available to you as you're trying to grow your business. So it's a great reminder from that standpoint. So that's July 21st. Then we're back at it. We're getting ready for the last 2 micro pitch sessions. So on August 28th, Gary and I will host Pitch Perfect, and we'll go over all the elements of the pitch. We will talk about everything that you need to know. So like tonight, you're being evaluated on the problem and opportunity, the solution and the proposed solution that you have, your target market, and the pitch delivery. So we'll talk about that. We'll give you tips on what you should include, how you should craft that performance, and then we give you an opportunity to practice that. So that is August 28th. And that, by design, is always 2 weeks before the next micro pitch event. So micro pitch number 3 will be on September 11th. And the reason that we do the Pitch Perfect 2 weeks before is that it gives you an opportunity to attend the class, record yourself, and then you can send us the recording, and we'll give you some comments. Gives you an opportunity to work on that pitch before it's actually time to perform. So with micro pitch number 3, we will release, actually 34 minutes ago, tickets went on sale for, not tickets went on sale, but the opportunity to secure your spot to pitch. That opened up at 7 o'clock, so that link is open. And real quick, Brittany, before I lose my train of thought, we charge $50 to secure your spot. And the reason that we do that is because every micro pitch sells out, and we want to make sure that everybody shows up. We don't want someone to, if it's free, then everyone's going to sell a show, register, and then we have no shows, and then it keeps someone from the opportunity to pitch that really wants to succeed. So that's the reason why there's just that deposit. If you attend Pitch Perfect, you pitch, we refund that money back to you. We're not trying to make money on this. We just want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to participate that wants to. Brittany, you have a question?
Actually, I hit that by accident. My apologies.
Oh,
there it is. Take it off.
And I guess one couple things to note. One, thank you to our sponsors, the local economic development localities, the city of Hampton, Newport News, Poquoson, Williamsburg, York County, James City County. This is not possible without their support. They have been funding this. They care about entrepreneurship, and this is, like we said, this is the first step. And companies have gone on from this to raise millions of dollars in funding, go on to accelerators, create many jobs. So if this is the way to get into the ecosystem. This is the way to get on that. This is the on-ramp so that you can get on the highway to success. And everyone is going to be there to support you. Everyone wants to see you win. So thank you to the localities for supporting. And Astini, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. That this was in regards to what Chris asked. What are IP factors? Or is that an appropriate question to ask?
I'm trying to think what he said. IP factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he was getting at, like, what is your, and Gary, feel free to step in. Do you have any secret sauce, or do you have any algorithms or that you would be putting in place that would differentiate yourself, that you can protect yourself from competition trying to do the same thing?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And one big announcement that we're getting ready to release is that we've been working really hard to put 757 on the map, and we're making real progress here. So as you continue to see success, stay here, don't leave. We want to support you and continue to grow. We want to tell your story. We want to showcase this to the rest of the world. And we're making some real progress at that. So much so that we were invited. We are going to be, it's kind of like breaking news in the sense of we were invited to host the Startup World Cup Virginia regional competition. So look for an announcement for that. But we quite literally will be on the international world stage to be able to showcase the best startups that we have in Virginia. And yeah, I can honestly say that a lot of, there's several companies that started at Star Peninsula that I hope to see participate in this. We're still working through details in terms of when those dates would be. But it will be likely here. I just get done saying that we don't like to mess around with summer, but based on they're dictating what they would like to see. So it will be late August, mid to late August that we will do this, but you are connected to the ecosystem now. So we will make sure that you all have details on when that will be. But it's a kudos to you all. We just tell the story, and it's your story that is created, and we're capturing the attention of people from around the state and around the United States. So congratulations to you all. Do you have any questions for us while we wait for judges to return?
I have a question. On the website, it says that the meet the resources is on the 12th. Is that a typo? You said the 21st.
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, it's probably, let me double check on my end. It is the 12th. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we typically don't do stuff on Sundays, so I will make sure that is corrected on my notes. I was saying the date from last year. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of nonprofits that come through and that
You know,
are able to?
yeah, that's a good, I appreciate you asking that question. And kind of what Chris was talking about in terms of having a plan for revenue. We've seen a lot of people that will pitch and present as a nonprofit, but then after getting involved with different mentors and realizing that it's really, really tough to survive on donations or grants, that once they realize that I have to have a for-profit type of mentality to ensure that we're generating revenue, that sometimes they'll either transition to a B corporation or they may transition to a for-profit entity anyway. So it's just, we don't really, we don't get in the way of that just because things change and businesses pivot. But there's nothing precluding you from being a nonprofit. If anything, it's a great thing for you to realize and start to think about, I have to do some things to decrease my reliance on donations and grants so that you can, you can survive for an infinite amount of time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I see the score sheet moving around. There must be some real, I don't know what's going on. I just see different colors being highlighted and unhighlighted. So it seems like there's some interesting discussions that are going on. Any other questions? And do reach out to the judges. I know that some of them were taking notes and would like to give you some feedback.
Yeah, I think a few of them commented in the chat box that they had so many more questions to ask. So I think they probably would be happy to give you feedback.
So it's appropriate for us just to shoot them an email after this.
Oh, it's not like dating. Yeah, you don't have to wait a certain number of days.
Wait 3 days, 3 hours. Okay.
But for those people that do advance, you'll get some. There's a different rubric in November than there is for this. So what got you here won't get you there. So that's the whole idea of why we have a micro pitch and then a championship pitch, is that we want you to continue to work on that business, learn some things, grow, hit a couple roadblocks, get with mentors, figure it out, grow some more, and we want to make sure that you're experiencing business, and as you're moving forward, then you're more likely to continue on. We want to avoid someone, we call them eventrepreneurs, go in, pitch really well, take the cash, and have fun with their buddies for a weekend. We want to make sure that money goes into the business. So
I think we took the interpretive dance part out of the final rubric. That's not in there anymore.
It looks like we have participants coming back.
I don't have any answers yet. I don't have any results, but we have to take a picture before we get results
Oh,
anyway.
that is right. We do the picture first, and the reason for that is we want everyone to look happy. Everyone needs to be happy.
That's right.
I need to change the view to gallery so that I can capture everybody. All right.
Okay, I have results.
All right, but hold on. We gotta smile first.
Picture
I haven't
first.
taken the picture.
I
All
know.
right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's take one more. The likelihood of someone blinking with
Everyone
all,
look at your camera lens.
that's right, and smile pretty. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Okay, ready for results? I have. This is
No,
in
we
no,
can't. We have to fill. We have to add some suspense, Gary. We want some judges' feedback.
oh,
and
some general judge comments, no attribution to any particular pitch, but yeah, let's hear some general feedback from judges.
I can kick us off here. In the tail end of our discussion, I think I was talking about general feedback. First off, I think that it's really great to have these pitch competitions, and I think that every single one of your pitches was really, really good. And it's whether you're in idea stage or growth stage, it's really a good opportunity to have to re-explain your business to people who have never heard it. So great job. My general comment is around money and marketing. I think that a lot of times, right, we think that that is the thing that will like help us scale and solve our business woes, but I think that there will always be, particularly if you're consumer facing, I think there will always be companies that have a lot more money and have a greater marketing budget. And actually companies that we've seen be really successful in our, startup experience are ones that really focus in on who their target market is and what specific features those individuals are looking for, and then actually are able to say, are based on customer feedback, based on our deep understanding of the particular market segment, that's how our features have been developed. This is what we've been getting. And so I think it's something where you don't have to be everything for everyone. Your competitive analysis slide doesn't have to say like we have every single one of these features. It can actually focus on the target market that you're selecting.
real quick, before Chris or Kiera jump in, Himalaya is new-ish to the region, and we happened to meet one another in Charlottesville at the Tom Tom Festival, and it was very, very serendipitous how everything happened. And I purposely did not mention too much about Himalaya because I don't want to add more stress and pressure to you all that are pitching. So Himalaya, can you just real quick talk about what you're doing? You live in Hampton and what you're doing here in Virginia.
Yes, absolutely. So I live in Hampton and I run a venture capital fund called the BFM Fund. We invest in Black and diverse founders, and we are all about the decentralization of wealth across diverse families.
So you never know who you're pitching to.
Yes. And I will just say a plug for Hampton Roads and a plug for Virginia in general. We actually, Tim, as of today, crossed the line with Virginia here. And so
Awesome.
it's got a huge allocation of money from the state of Virginia to be able to deploy into Virginia-based companies. And so hopefully that is some of you all soon.
Great, thank you. Chris or Kiera?
Guess I'll go next because I feel like Chris is going to impart on us some very gracious words of wisdom. So let me get my little 2 cents out the way. First of all, congratulations, guys. I don't know if this is your first pitch or your 100th pitch, but everyone did remarkably well. As you move forward, I just suggest that you learn from others in the room. So even if you're not a part of the winning circle today, I hope that you took notes on everyone, what you thought they did well. Make sure you connect with everyone on LinkedIn, reach out for mentorship, build those connections and collaborations, because you never know who will be on the judging side of the table next go round. But congratulations, everyone, for at least getting out here and doing something that I haven't even done yet.
Okay, well, thank you, Kiera, for setting my bar so high for me. But I do want to say I have great admiration for those who even come here to do this, number one. And number two, greater admiration for those who have pitched before and decided to come back based on the feedback that they got from last time. I guess I can't speak to the results yet, but I will just say that sometimes it does pay off to do that. The other thing I will tell you guys is that this time goes by really fast in these micro pitches. So you've really got to get to the point. We did have a couple that unfortunately got cut a little bit short. So I know that the pitch perfects help and all of that, but the things that grab people's attention are when you would tell a story about some personal impact that you had or a problem that everyone can relate to. And I think that making a splash at the very beginning of your presentation to catch people's attention and to provide great context for the problem you're solving, that was a big differentiator for our winners tonight. Our winners tonight scored high in the problem category, not just the solution category. So keep that in mind. And with that, I will turn that back over to our gracious hosts.
Thank you. Whoever the winners are, I'm going to add more suspense because we have 8 minutes before 8 o'clock. And so winners, could you send me a picture of your a headshot so that we can include you in the winners graphics as we celebrate your victory tonight? That will help us do that in a more expeditious fashion. So send me your headshots, please, or else we're going to grabbed it off of LinkedIn or find some embarrassing photo from Google Photos.
College 10 years ago. You posted, someone else posted.
That looks nothing like you, right? And just really quick before I give you the results here, just again, a thank you to our host location, Newport News, and the cities of Hampton, Williamsburg, and Poquoson, and James City and York counties for their support on this. Okay, you ready for some results?
Dim the lights.
Should I do it on mute? Would that be good?
Yeah.
Yes, what I said? No. All right. So this is not in any particular order because I don't know the order. I only know the three. So the first one I'm going to say is Lock Green. Yay. And the next one is Beige LLC. And the final one is Growables.
Congratulations, everybody.
Woo! I need a little noise. Woo!
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Himalaya, Kiera, Chris, thank you for your judging expertise. Thank you for caring so much about the founders. To listen critical listening is really, really exhausting. And to listen and to ask such insightful questions and to give such insightful advice, thank you so much. It really, really means a lot. Dan, you're always there. Thank you so much. There as the part of the core team, but also there as from the locality standpoint, you're the one that is always there. You're our strongest supporter. So thank you so much for that. Gary, co-hosts, co-MC. We've been at this a long time. Thank you so much. Madison, James, as you all know, we work really, really hard in the background to make this happen. So this is all for you all. This is the first stop for everybody. Come back, get feedback from me, Gary, the judges. This is a journey, so keep things going. And thank you to everybody that has helped make this possible. And I hope you have a great evening.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Gary. Thank you all.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.